Can you guys hear me? So I'm going live on several different platforms. I don't know which ones. I think YouTube, Instagram, some of those. But anyways, let's see if we're going live here. You guys text me. James, okay. He's on YouTube. We got some guys on Facebook. Hey, got some LinkedIn guys. That's cool. I just want to give you guys an update. If you guys got any questions, your questions are going to pop up on the screen here. Anyways, we are out stripping right now. We have a team up north of Andy Tater, who's new in the show. You're going to see Tater this year. He's actually a really qualified mechanic and operator. And Graydon says, are you ever going to mine again? Guys, we have a new show. I don't know if you know that, but Hoffman Family Gold, Discovery Channel, should be out in June. They had some delays, so they actually moved the show. It was supposed to be in March. Now it's in June. I guess there's going to be some really exciting announcements with Discovery and what's coming out. So I don't know a lot about that. Can you guys hear me good with this new microphone? There's a guy from Stuttgart. So can you guys hear me okay? Sweden. Yes. Okay. Good. Is it good audio? So we have, obviously, for those of you that don't know, we have a new show. It's got one season out. You can go to, I think, Discovery Plus and actually watch the show. But the new season, which is actually spectacular, it's actually probably going to be the best show on all of Discovery Channel, comes out in June. Now, having said that, you better, it's for people who like gold mining TV. So as you know, we flew a team up north. Why do we go up north? Why do we start early? You want to so if you have 5 feet of pay, so here's bedrock. If you have 5 feet of pay dirt, say 6 feet of pay dirt, this is 6 feet, right? Let's go like this. Then you have 10, 12, 15 feet of mud. So you got pay dirt and you got to get this mud off, right? And so on top of that, you have the tundra. So that mud comes off when it's frozen a lot easier. You can't push mud when it's all, all gooey and everything. So what we're doing is we're stripping. Andy's ripping. He's got his dozer and he puts this, you'll see the ripper, the big hook goes in the ground and he pulls it and it breaks up that mud. Then he pushes it in a certain way. You can push about 300 feet wide max with you start your ramp. So you're probably the cut's probably maybe 250, Hello from Denmark, guys. Hey, guys. Sweden. Don't forget, our biggest fan base in my music is Sweden, man. So we love you guys. Someday we'll tour over there when we get a chance. But anyway, so right now we are stripping. I have a small team. They don't really have the support, but we had a new transmission, new undercarriage on a D10N, and the motor blew up. So it basically is pouring water into the oil pan. So what we're going to try to do is what's called an in-frame motor rebuild, which is actually it's pretty tough. So I'm ordering my parts right now, and my parts list is like huge, like heads, pistons, blah, blah, blah. The reason why I'm wearing this hat today is these guys, Portland Tractor, PTI, Portland Tractor, is helping me round up all the parts because I'm not like God's gift to anything on motors. And so they're helping us round up the parts. They helped me with my transmissions last year. They probably are tired of me bugging them, but it's a company that's it's been really good to us, and so we're super thankful. Trying to work on my beard here. I don't what's going on here. Yep, there's a Cheerio. Let me get it. There we go. Got it. Anyways, so I'm gonna round up all the parts today. The guys are up there. We don't have a shop, so we're gonna build like this tent around the dozer. Now you got to remember, we're doing basically a 2,000 foot long by 250 foot wide cut. And according to the drill holes, we got ourselves a really nice piece of ground. So we got to get it stripped though before it gets warm. And so we're racing against time. We maybe have 10 days before our cut starts to melt. And so like I'm getting the parts, I'm putting them together, and man, I'm gonna try to get it. We're gonna fly it in to Nome, and then we're gonna fly it from Nome into a helicopter, probably like an A-Star. And then we got to get the parts out there. And there's a mechanic out of Texas named Wes, and he was telling me, I'm not making fun of Texan accents, but he's like, well, you got to do this and you got to do that. And I'm like, why don't you go do it? And he's like, big pause. And you're like, all right. I talked him into it. So he's going to go up and help Tater. And we're going to hopefully get some footage of this, like how this goes together. So we're going to have to take the blade off, right? And we're going to have to like take the whole engine apart. And man, yeah. So it's going to be, I'm kind of a little bit overwhelmed. So I don't know. We'll see what happens here. But in the meantime, I am here. Basically, I'm supporting it financially, and I'm praying for these guys. And a couple, it's been really cool. The encouragement. I got to show a couple things. There's this Top Dog powder coating guy that makes all these kinds of, you'll see these tumblers and things that we put our gold in. You'll see Jack in the show, and he made me this one the other day. And he makes these really cool bottles. I just want to say thank you, Top Dog. So, I want to know if you guys are still good. I mean, all my audio is still good, and just text yes if my audio sounds pretty good. Anyway, so another thing is I ran to Salt Lake City and I met with a guy named the Muscle. And also I met with a guy named Heavy D. And you know what? I went down to Sean Whalen's thing, his setup, and I dropped by Black Rifle Coffee and just kind of had like a couple days there. And these are all good guys. These are all good Americans. They're all busting it, and we're trying to figure out, future wise, that there's guys that want a gold mine, and whether we mine with them or not, but just talking to other guys, you don't feel like you're such alone out here. And that's another thing, is I want you guys to know that you're not alone out there, especially if you're a little business guy, a little entrepreneur. We're all kind of out there struggling. As you see me work with this stupid motor, I thought it would last for the summer. Obviously it isn't. So, sometimes you just get thrown curveballs, and all you can do is just take it one day at a time. Just like in recovery, I had a recovery center, and you got to take it one day at a time for everybody. And sometimes that's all you can do is do your best, and then rest, get some sleep, and tackle it again, because God is good and he's going to come through. Just little things, encouragement. When I was out at Salt Lake, I was in Sean Whalen's office, and I saw some of Scott Travis's paintings. And if you don't follow him on the internet, this is him right here. And he sent me some really cool stuff. He's got kind of a little thing there. It talks about his art and how he used to paint from dark places, but now he's in a place of peace. I've watched him. His wife had some medical issues with like a brain tumor. I don't know the whole story, but just watching guys go through trouble, it's like I glean these things. I take these things from people, like, right? And he sends me a couple cool things. He sends me this sweatshirt, kind of cool. And then he sent me this one here. These are like sweatshirts for some of his original paintings. This one here is a pretty cool one. I always admired. Just want to tell Scott thank you, and if you guys want to show him love, follow him out there. I am Scott Travis. It is. Here's his. Where's his? I am Scott Travis. Anyways, but I wanted to tell you guys about the engine. So now I got an issue here. I got about 10 days. I got to get this motor going, or the cut's going to start melting, right? And so we have some issues there. We're gonna tackle it. Another good thing is that we took just a little bit of like a 3/4 of a gold pan from the top of the cut, and I wanted to show you guys what Andy sent me. And this is the gold pan from just that little top of the cut. Can you guys see that? It's probably like, I don't know. It's definitely, I think it's 3 ounces 100, guys. And if that's the case, we may be looking at something pretty serious, right? Very, very, very serious. So we got to get this dozer fixed. We got to get this old cat dozer fixed. Love to have a Komatsu dozer, but it just wasn't in the cards at this point. So we got a cut that's probably going to, if I can get it, it's going to be our biggest season that we've ever had. And as you well know, what's going on in the world right now, gold's they can't hold it down forever. She's gonna take off, So I got people in here watching from Finland, from Russia, from all over the world. Our show is in 200 countries and 120 languages, and it comes out in June. You got 12 episodes of just some insane stuff. My son and I get at it. We get into it. It's that hard. It's a very hard situation when you're working with your family, but we got some Ireland in here. We got Norway. Hey guys, welcome. Tennessee, Reno, Scott Jolkover from Reno. Hey buddy. Anyways, just let you guys know, I'm bringing in tires from Vietnam, and people think, well, made in America, made in America, made in America. Yeah, I get it. Okay. But there's the powers that be don't allow us to make things in America. And what's really strange is that everything we wear, everything like our phones, everything we use is either mined or drilled. And so I drive an electric car. I have a big diesel truck, but I also drive a Tesla. And I do like the fact of driving a Tesla, but we got major power that we're going to need power, and we're going to need a lot of copper. We're going to need a lot of graphite. I heard a report today that we need 350 more mines coming online to actually, take care of things. Hey, I see Jamie on here from Barco Pump. Early on, I had a Pioneer Pump, and I put them in the show, and they sold for a very, very large amount. And then the president is now doing something else. And so when I came back into mining, I looked around and I found Barco, and they always had a good name. And so I teamed up with Barco, and we basically have two of probably the nicest pumps in all of Alaska sitting in the middle of our mine. So I want to thank Barco Pump. I want to thank everybody that's ever stepped out and helped us. I mean, like Wes coming up there to help me with that motor. I mean, that's pretty cool, right? So there is opportunities with other mines that always come by my desk all the time, and some of them aren't worth it. Some of them are worth it, but I'm looking at a couple. It's like future, like 2-3 years down the road. This mine that we're on is a lot of ground left. We need to do some more drilling and things like that. But you always got to think for the future and step out and spread out too. We have a mall airplane and I have a pilot. If we can pull all this off, we're going to have our airplane up there because we want to be able to launch out and check out all kinds of different things. So my dad, we're not exactly God's gift of flying. We fly and we have planes. We actually own an airport, so I'm familiar with it. But bush flying is a little bit different. So I got a guy I'm looking at, and I said, hey man, if you come up with us, you need to be able to fly, but you also need to be able to run an excavator. So we do. We got a guy that is retired police officer looking at that position. So, but we're not a huge company with a lot of money. We're all, we're kind of like on a budget, like many of us. So, are you a Republican or a Democrat? I'm all about Trump. Nicholas Van Herp. The cool part is that we don't want. There are people that follow me that are Democrats, people that follow me that are Republicans. It's when I really don't care what you are, but you better let me have free speech, and I'm going to let you have free speech. I mean, our whole country was based on free speech. So, as long as we can have dialogue and stuff and not be hating on each other, what really worries me is this war. It's like, man, it's just really scary when you see how many people are dying over there in Russia and Ukraine. So it's kind of a scary deal. I bet it's probably really nerve-wracking for all the countries like Finland, all you guys that are up there close to that whole situation. So anyways, so that's why I'm not going to jump in and I'm going to get political, but I am 100% for mining, and it's not about, I want to rip up Mother Earth. As you see Parker right now, he's like following, for some reason, he's following the exact same places that I went on our special with Freddie Dodge when we went to Peru. And let me tell you about Peru. Let me tell you about Madre de Dios. They're trying to, it looks like in Lake Titicaca, it looks like, man, this is a great place. But what I do is when I go places, I usually try to see what the real story is. And the real story about Peru is that the drug cartels and the people, in charge there, it's actually kind of scary down there. And you got to really know what you're doing. I don't want people to think that, when I was there, 2 bike riders, mountain bikers, just had gotten grabbed and they hadn't found them. They had been gone for 10 days. And then when I was in Lima, Peru, my friend was supposed to meet me. I'm going to actually let you guys see under the hood of this. So I did a special years ago going to Peru, and you're seeing Parker kind of go through Peru now. I think he gets sick and hopefully he's okay, because I know how that is down there. Dave Turn got so sick that I was driving along holding on to him as he's puking out the side of the truck. So you can really, it's scary over there. Life doesn't mean as much down there as you would think. And not, so when I was down there in Lima, and I had a very, wealthy friend there that sold equipment, and I was to meet him in the, I think it was the Four Seasons there in Lima. And he didn't show up. Matter of fact, I can't get a hold of him. And by the time he resurfaces out of Lima, right, he's calls me and he says, I got handcuffed to my hospital bed. And I said, well, good dear Lord, what happened? He said a guy that works for the drug cartel goes across several lanes of traffic and plowed into him and his family in their Range Rover, right? And hang on one second. Hello. I'm doing a live broadcast. Can I call you back? Yeah. Can I call you back? See ya. Anyways, so he got when they got out of the car, the guy from the cartel blames it on my friend. My friend gets arrested. He's handcuffed to his hospital bed. Doesn't meet me in Lima. So fast forward, we take this bus to up into the hills. We go to those mines that you see Parker in. That's probably up by La Rinconada. And La Rinconada, when we were going in there, right? And I don't think Raw TV had ever been in there. We're all kind of scared, right? Because I said, hey man, we need a police escort up into this part of the country. And the police are like, no. I'm like, what do you mean no? No, we don't go in there. And I'm like, so you're telling me the police don't go into that city? And they said, no, there's a gunslinger. So, uh, and I'm like, so like, can I get to the mine without going through the main part of town? And so then we would go around and we went into those tunnels, and me and Dave Turn went a mile and a half, 2 miles into those tunnels. And while we were inside these tunnels, okay, now you remember right now, we're at 16,000 feet. Okay, like the base camp of Mount Everest. We're like at that level, 16.5. There's a little town of mining up there, and we're up there, and no joke, man, we are like literally out of oxygen. Now we go down into a hole. Me and Turn go way down into this hole, and the mine next door is firing off freaking their dynamite. Like we're literally like freaking boom like this, and you're like, you're inside this tunnel. Like, I mean, like it could totally collapse, and here we are stuck in there forever or die, right? So, you got that. Then we went down to Madre de Dios, which you see, Parker. That place is, let me tell you something about what mining, uncontrolled mining has decimated the jungle down there. Decimated. And this is coming from me. I'm a miner. I love mining. I'm all about it. But when you just let them go out and just destroy everything, it's like parts of Guyana, tons of Peru, tons of Brazil is literally just like all the environmentalists, greenie, tree hugging people you've ever met. They're right. They're destroying it, and it's terrible. And it needs to be controlled, and there needs to be reclamation. And part of the reason, everybody brings up my trip in the jungle. Part of the reason is just for the fact I did not know that. And when I went down there, it was horrible. And what I saw was horrible. And the little tiny bit of area that I tried to mine, I reclamated it because I think I might be the only guy that's ever reclamated anything in the jungle. I didn't like the mercury in the rivers too. You can't eat any fish since mercury's everywhere. So like they're right. They're right. These people are right when it comes to the jungle, when it comes to Peru, when it comes to these areas. I didn't go across Lake Titicaca because it's got garbage everywhere. I'm not interested. I never climbed Machu Picchu because by the time I got to the town there, it's just not my favorite place, man. And so I was there with Jacker, and we had a good time. It was fun, but I saw towns where the alcoholism was so bad that at night the people would wander around like zombies, right? So we got a big job here in the United States. We got a job in protecting our country, protecting our children. We have homelessness that is literally, we need to watch what we're doing here, okay? We need to focus on our country and what we're doing here, because we have homelessness and mental illness that's just unbelievable. It's out of control. And if we love our countries, we need to watch our mind the store. The saying, mind the store. Really need to be careful, because my city has turned into an absolute nightmare compared to what it was. It used to be rated as like the most beautiful city to raise your kid in. This is Portland, Oregon, right? So guys, we need to get active on school boards, get active on city councils, and we're not going to stand by anymore. Okay, we need to get involved. And in my opinion, Freddie Dodge, we really tried to bring a lot of that to Guyana. And we were bringing in the cleanup equipment. We offered a whole bunch of neat things to actually get them to regulate so that they do their cleanups the way we do them without any chemicals. Because the way they're doing it, there's a lot of mercury that gets poured here and there, and we don't like that, you know. So, anyways, that's it. That's my 2 cents, and at the end of the day, it's a lot of this is that we can't. We got to be able to talk to each other and don't hate somebody if you don't agree with their free speech. Don't hate, you know. So we got to at least explain it, and I think there's a lot more middle ground out there than people think that we can actually, you know, agree on and move the ball so that we can actually protect you know, our cities and things like that. We do need more mines, guys, or we are going to lose the battle in the electric race. And we got to have more lithium. We got to have more copper. We got to have more graphite. The only graphite mine, like the only one in the United States, is like 60 miles from my mine. That's it. Graphite one. And they're just brand new. They're just trying to get going. Their stock's like $1 on the exchange right now, but they're out there drilling. They're doing what there's other guys out there that are drilling. You got Scott Jolkover out there. He's working on lithium stuff out of Tonopah. Tonopah is taking off. Lots of mines trying to get going there, but you know, you're 5-10 years out. So we need to support mining. Don't be against it. Everything that you have wear or drive or sit on is usually mined or drilled. So, you know, yes, environmentally responsible. Yes. Like I said, there's places in the jungle. No, they're not doing it right. It's an embarrassment. There's places like what we're doing. It's almost over-regulated. So you don't want to do that. We want to be pro mining, but we want to be pro, you know, take care of the earth, because that really, if you truly call yourself a Christian, you really can't go out and rape and pillage. You really gotta think about what you're doing. And that's it. I want to be that guy. I want to be that mine, that company that is responsibly doing it. And I try my best, you know, to do it by the best of my ability. Anyways, you guys have a few questions. I'll take some questions here. Let me read some of these. Philippians 1:3. Folks, be thankful. Todd, I want to mine with you. I can also cook. Well, oh gosh. If we go back, when we get going, we did lose our cook. Big Tommy is not coming back. I just found out this morning, so we are looking for something. Diana is saying hi from Dusseldorf. He's my son and I have seen all the episodes here in Germany. When you want help, my son and I have machines and can work for you and help desk if you want. Am I going to come to England? This is Chris Watson. My great-grandfather actually spoke with an English accent, and my family comes from England. I would like to try to get over there and hit Ireland too, you know. Anyway, so it's like it's really nice to see you guys in the support and you know, and all the questions come rolling in. Electric equipment. I work with an OEM in the construction industry. Thoughts on electric vehicles and electric equipment. Okay, so many years ago, I tried to bring the very first electric car plant to Oregon, and we just got it was way too early. And that company was actually out of Korea. So, but yeah, no, I'm a believer in electric, and I know that we're going to head that way, but you got to be really, really, really realistic. It takes a lot more resources to power and to build electric. So what are we really saving and doing? I don't know, but if it's all going to go to electric, it is the most it's the most power right straight to the wheels. It's incredible. I'm a believer in it, but you got to be really realistic. It's going to take a lot more resources than we have now. A lot of people know that some people know this and some people don't. Is that I was a .com millionaire way back. And after that, I had a company that built magnetizers that for the production of magnets. And so I did this in the 90s, late 90s, and then into the 2000s. And my partner was Joe Stupak, who is no longer with us, so I can talk about it. But many years, my partner was a Cold War spy, okay? And I'm only going to say this. I've never talked about this really like this. So for many years, I built and designed in motors with Joe. Now, he's the brains. He was one of the best motor designers. When I say motor, that's all about magnetics. And so he was worked on the actuator in the Cray 1, the very first supercomputer, started developing and designing hard drive motors for Seagate, Maxtor, Western Digital. So we started a little company and we designed the boxes of electronics to magnetize. So all my customers were in the United States. And then all of a sudden, the Chinese started showing up and they started buying one after another. Eventually, we got rid of all magnet production. And to be honest with you, whoever runs the magnets runs the world. Okay? Remember this. Whoever runs the magnets is running the world. And we don't make magnets anymore. So you tell me who's running the world. It's not us, because if China decides to ration our magnets, we're done. There's 120 magnets in every vehicle made in the United States. Okay. Brake sensors to all kinds of sensors, to the motors, to the windshield wiper motors, there's the magnets. Okay. People don't know this, that magnets run the world. It's not even who has the most oil. It's not even who has this, that, or the other. It's magnets. Then we stopped making magnets, and I used to blow the whistle, and I'm this stupid kid, and who cares? Nobody got it, right? Dexter Magnetics was a customer, a lot of customers, and we're the ones that invented hard, neodymium iron and the actual rare earth magnets. It was done out of a team from GE with a guy named Carl Sternot, and his son Reinhold Sternot. I was friends with them, right? So I've been in the ground zero on a lot of this kind of stuff. So, it's like one of these things where people don't understand, and they, it's crazy because when I started in the magnet industry, I had no idea where this was going to go. And I knew that someday, that we're going to have electric cars. Now they're pushing for all electric cars. Well, we are at the mercy of the guys who make the magnets. And these magnets are not like you think. These are powders pressed together. Sometimes they're pressed together while they're putting a field through them. Okay. And so the magnet production is an art form, and we are so far behind. We stopped teaching magnetics in the universities years ago. There's a secret book. If you're an engineer and you really want to design magnets, there's a secret underground book called The Theory and Practice of Magnetics. This is written by my partner, my former late partner, Joseph Stupak. And I can get you one, but they're hard to get. Anyways, so engineers would come and study and hang with me and Joe. And I learned a lot from Joe. And some of my customer bases were Georgia Tech, Lucent Technologies was a customer of ours. All the medical companies, all the speaker companies, and for many years I rode with Joe, and Joe was my mentor, and Joe was the one that really taught me about magnets, and that's why I'm so curious about electric motors and things like that. I know that Komatsu has a lot of great stuff coming electrically, but like me just sitting feeding the plant, right? I might as well just be hooked right into my big generator that's sitting literally 30 feet from me, because I only do this, right? Instead of sitting there burning diesel, I'm already got a generator burning diesel. There is a world in which, some of this equipment is actually getting really, 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 really awesome. So, anyways, sorry to get off nerdy on the magnets stuff, but right now we don't make magnets. All the magnet production is made in China, and so we're at their mercy when it comes to motors, and whoever controls the magnets, they control the world. So if you guys think that we're controlling things right now as far as manufacturing goes, we are not. And so do we want to get back involved in that? Yeah, I suggest we do it quick, because uh, Nevada has a lot of rare earths. We have rare earths. It's not about that. It's about actually getting the mindset up, learning how to do it, and I think we're behind in that. So whatever. That's my 2 cents. Now, when it comes to mining and TV and things like that, what I'm going to do is try to fill in. I'm allowed to film for myself. So I would like to have you guys follow me over at YouTube/Gold Rush Todd. And I'm starting to try to put some things up there. So there's Joe Taylor's talking about Australia. There's lots of gold there. Yeah, there's lots of gold in Australia left. There's lots of gold in New Zealand on the South Island. I went down there and hung out down there with some of my buddies, and so yeah, I believe that the economy is just going to have some real tough times. I think that gold might be a smart play. I'm not trying to give you guys financial advice, because it's really not my place. So what I definitely want you to do is take a look at that and maybe have some physical gold in your hand. And I don't mean gold as in, hey, I got paper gold and some place says I have gold, because they may not have your gold. So, with a lot of this stuff, you got to trust and check into it. Okay. Because you never know what's going to happen there. Right. So I just, you've been warned. Gary says there's still a lot of gold in North Georgia. I'm sure there is areas like that. Mining in some of those states is going to be really tough, environmentally, to try to get things going. One guy is asked, do you sing a song here at the end of the live check? And do you want me to sing a song? No. I am on the 12th playing at a place called the Goat Barn. I've never been there. I've heard about it. There's only 250 people they let in, and it's like $35. But the Boondock Boys is like a real touring band. We're opening for them, so this will be kind of like my very first concert. I hope I do good. I mean, I hope I don't get nerves and like sing weird. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing, so I am kind of learning how to do this. But step out. You never know what God has for you. That's why I'm doing this. Do you think I like doing this kind of stuff? I'm not very good at it. I'm in kind of I'm self-conscious about a lot of things, but I do it because I want to encourage you guys, and I definitely want you guys to know where my heart is. I also want to explain, when people help us out, like Portland Tractor. They're busy, they're big, they don't need to freaking waste time with us. As Komatsu helped me out. They don't have to. They don't need like me. So it is good to at least try to let them know that, hey, there's companies out there that are down with us. Garrett Metal Detectors. I put them in the show, and their new metal detector literally can tell between a hot rock, which is a rock that's got some metal in it, and a nugget. and in the show you're gonna see it differentiate. If that cup makes the show, there's a guy that comes up there and he freaking digs some weird stuff up. You're gonna see in the show. So I'm excited to actually see that episode because that new metal detector is badass. So Henny Luddick, he's my buddy here. He's out in South Africa, and he says there's a lot of mining opportunities in Zimbabwe. I don't probably won't go over there too much, but I'm going to stick with Alaska. I think they're kind of clamping down on some of the guys, and on these mining licenses that you hear, and the guys in Gold Rush that. So they've been pretty tough on some of those guys trying to re-up their mining license in Canada, because the show's in Canada. Parker moved over to Alaska for a little bit. I think he's going to stick it out in Canada. I don't know, but I'm way up north, out of Nome, and I'm 90 miles north of that. So, yeah. So Mark Dawson, best wishes from Scotland. I'd like to get over there, check it out. Boosted Dad's Garage. Do you still have any hot rods? I have sold all my hot rods and trucks, and all I have is a little Mercedes convertible, a Dodge 3/4 ton, and a Tesla Model Y. That's all I got left, I think. I'll have to look. And I got a skid steer and a couple other things, but kind of focusing. I have a grandchild now, and I'm trying to work on that. So that little girl is just unbelievable. She just, crazy. Just it's awesome. So my Garrett Infinium still does the trick. That's a metal detector. Am I ice diving? Do I look like I'm ice diving? I don't go ice diving unless I get paid a lot of money. They tried to get me on Bering Sea Gold, and I said, well, and I know what they were going to do. They're going to try to get my fat ASS inside a wetsuit for the photo op. No thanks. I'm not doing that to you guys. I love you guys too much. And I'm not going on Naked and Afraid either. So I did get asked to be on Dancing with the Stars one time, and I remember Christo saying, hey, that's where guys, that's where stars go to die. And I was like, what? I go, you should let me try to go on that thing because I'll freaking win that. You've never seen a fleet-footed fat guy dance so damn good. That's this guy right here, man. I'm part of the arts. I can sing and dance, and I can do all that stuff, man. Yeah, Hunter is in the show. Hudson's in the show too. Hunter's works with Sparky in the show coming up. You're going to see some very crazy stuff, No, I don't want a psychic reading. Sorry, bud. I'm not into that stuff. Anyways, what about the Masked Singer? I would crush the Masked Singer, but I'm actually would do really good on that one, I think. But I don't know. I'm not really a celebrity. I'm kind of it's perfect. I'm like just enough to like guys will answer their phone, but like not too much where it's a pain in the ass, right? Plus I'm getting introverted as I go along. So that's one thing. Anyways, Sunday nights we run our group. It's called S7. Sunday night at 7. Now it's at Sunday night at 6, but we run a men's group at my lodge, and it's kind of a very Bible study light. I mean, light. So kind of an entry point just to kind of get guys together and start praying. And then guys need to share and talk because a lot of us are isolated and things like that. So, if anybody wants to start the same type of group that we got cooking, I would be, very happy if somebody would be interested in doing that. I can help you figure that out. So We would like to help guys start these groups around the country. It's kind of a cross between AA and a Bible study. There's a lot of F words said, and there's a lot of like, counsel, and there's other, it really helps men try to maybe navigate some tough issues. We've had a lot of guys get divorced. I've had gone through guys that have had a death in their family. We started the group because a guy had a stroke, and so he goes, man, we need to get together and try to support each other. And so it was pretty cool. That's how our group started. Sunday nights at 6. Don't come to just talk about gold and all. It's just come to be a dude in the group. And it's been pretty good. I've had to apologize a couple times because I say stuff to guys sometimes, and we got to have a place where people can talk freely. But there's a lot of wise guys that'll show up and actually help other guys. So that's what I'm doing. What else can I tell you? I have one container. There's a barge leaving on the 10th, and if I can figure things out quick enough, I'm going to throw that stuff in that container and get it heading north. You're about 3 weeks on the water when I send anything north. I burned up a couple cars, so probably throw a couple cars on that barge too. So that's it, man, and hopefully we can have a great mining season. My wife is saying she doesn't want to go. I don't know what it is, but she might change her mind, but it's okay, doing some small stints. We're trying to always, work on our relationship, which is not easy, especially when you're on TV and things like that. I can't believe she's still, I met her when she was 18, and so we're still in love and still trying. Doesn't mean we don't have issues. If you guys knew some of our issues, you guys would be like, no way. Yeah, we got issues too. So we put the fun in dysfunctional. Somebody explain that to the Germans. They'll figure it out. Anyways, Todd Hoffman put together a suction dredge with your cutter head to mine. Stephen Kennedy. There is a guy out here, and he has a long straight pipe suction for up there on the Bering Sea. He does actually pretty well. That's how they do it in Guyana. Is they run a straight pipe down to the bottom, and then they're suctioning up the gold. So, and Nicholas is wondering if I'm hiring new people. Usually I do. I do hire new people. I always try to start with local guys from our town. Well, first off, I start from my dysfunctional family. Then I go to local guys from our town. Then I look outside and try to get Tater, Micah, some of these guys. His name is Framer in the show. So you got Tater and Framer, and they're new guys this year, and you're going to love these guys. What we put together is crazy. So yeah, there's a couple guys here and saying, hey, we're lucky with our wives. Think about your relationships today a little bit. And if you're out at work right now and you're dinking around watching this stupid video, why don't you think about your wife and your relationships that you have in your life? Make sure that you sow into those, invest into those relationships, Anyways, yeah. So I am going to check on my parts here in a minute, and we're going to get those on an airplane, head north, and go from there. There's actually a guy that I'm trying to talk into going. He's on here. Let me see if I can. Okay. Anyways, we are going to try to get this thing going, get this dozer going. We're on a limited time schedule, and then we're going to keep stripping. We at about 1,800 feet long. We're at about 20% of it down to gravel. And Andy, I'm just thankful for Andy, and Dakota's up there too. He's kind of the muscle for those old farts. Tater and Andy, and then you got Dakota Spinks, and he is a spectacular gold miner. And so, anyways, love you guys. Blessings to you. Thank you for, even watching this kind of stuff. But pray for us that we can get this dozer running again. We can get stripping and we can have a great season. And no matter what happens, follow me on Facebook, but also follow me on YouTube. I really would like to build that channel up and try to get put the things on there that slip between the cracks. Like this right here isn't being filmed by Discovery Channel. We're going to try to just give you clips of it because I've never seen a friggin' motor be rebuilt out in the field. Like I've never seen an in-frame be rebuilt. And last year I put a transmission in and I was right there watching it and how it slides out on the rails. I had no idea. So it's like really cool, like you're really cool things. So, honor the Lord, honor your father and mother, and your days will be long. And pray for us, and blessings to all of you guys. And I don't even know how I'm going to end the stream now. And thank you for everybody that logged in around the world. It's pretty cool seeing you guys.